We need to be aggressive. And the aggressive are not of violence. I'm simply saying we need to be aggressive in terms of implementing that which you agree upon. If you create fresh out resolutions, make sure you give yourself a time frame. By this time we must have done A, B, C, D. A simple identifiable series of activities that are interconnected and meant to drive a message across. In a non-apologetic manner, you have to be revolutionaries and demand revolution around the thinking because we are regarded as debased individuals who are spineless, and yet we are not your sons of heroes. So stop and begin to say, to claim what is ours. And without discriminating anyone. And it tests the case of South Africa. I'm looking forward to that one. Mbone wonke umuntu othi Gukurahundi imbi ekhona lapha. Umsebenzi wenu. Singathi sifuna izicoco ziziye kuleyani organization, and that's exactly what I'm going to say to them. Nxa ngifike ekhaya. Ukuthi madoda dandala bhata moto. Ntumbo mai. Nxa ungasisikhala ukuthi dandala bhata moto manje awuchasela nje. Ukuthi isigodo zokhala kasomtsuli sesibambumile sizabhebha, it doesn't go off. You must get to a point where you are saying, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We must make our resolutions. We cannot gather here for the sake of it. We must gather here in order to plan the way forward, map a way forward. And say, we are going to implement it. If we can unify ourselves in this regard, the voice will be greater. Our impact will be greater, and the fall will be bigger. Yabo Mugabe, kuzwakale. Kambe ngathi okungumhwapha okade kwachopa nayo kuloku lenkani ukuthi angixolisi. Kathi vele angaqolisa bazavuka abantu bakithi. Angaqolisa bese kusenzakala. That's not our issue. Ukuthi uyaqolisa thina sifuna abotshwe. Kube clear ukuthi abantu banama perpetrators must be arrested. All of them without an exception. And I said to umuntu wayesi-interview ngisakwazi ukuthi uMathutu. Angikwazi ukuthi ungaphi katheni uMathutu ekona. Umtshela ukuthi ngimdingile ngoba wangi-interview. Lo Dr. Moyo ukhanyisela ose-Ireland. Wathi Mzila nesekhaya sitshela ukuthi ufuna ukuthi wenze wena. Ngathi ngifuna ukuthi abantu laba babotshwe. Mugabe lo Mnangagwa lo Sekeramayi lo Perence Shiri, the first candidates to be arrested. So that umilo service mayebotshwa abakithi babotshwe. Mawubopha Charles Taylor abakithi kababotshwe. And all these criminals responsible for genocide elsewhere. At that time, they were actually serving British laws and interests. It looks like they looked the other way. Because of 800 million investment in Rhodesia. So imperials were worth less than 800 million. The truth must be told. But again, choose your enemies well. Even those that you are saying they looked aside, knock on their doors and say, this is what you are demanding. Please come out in the open and say you condemn Gukurahundi. As a first step. Second step, saying I condemn, what do? Open the door for us here, United Nations. Could be a special commission of inquiry investigation. As a weak investigator, even if Mnangagwa funi. United Nations deploy BluePrint in Matabeleland. Abantu bakhululeke. Bakhulume bekhulekile ukuthi mina ngenza lokho. Ayakhona kathesi ukuthi umuntu uzakhuluma athi akhuluma lo Mzila ala sebotshwa. Mzila khona kala mandla. Yes, I have no power. Ala sebotshwa. So abantu are forced to in fact recoil and say lokhu ngizakufa lakho. Ngoba ngazama ukukhuluma kuba worse. So I'm saying the legal route has been explained by Ubaba Chuma, and I think that's the way to go. But you need to build a case. We need to build the case. Listen to say when you want to gather evidence, ngoba isigebenga nxa sesibona sokunje bazahamba beyabhomba babhombe eBhalaphe vele. I have pictures ezilama coordinates of the bombing of mass graves eBhalaphe. So they want to destroy evidence. But izaba nzima to destroy nxa ukuthi abantu sibambene into yenzakala ekhaya silitshela lapha kwenzakala niliphangise litshela umhlaba. Kwazakala ukuthi kwenzakala lokhu la lokhu. And of course we have respectable people here. Abe media. Or Donald Trelford, who was working for the Guardian Observer newspaper, working for Tiny Rollins, who owned almost 90% of Rhodesia. Tiny Rollins. He's late now. But ubungane bakhe, lo Lord Carrington, lo Prince Charles, benza ukuthi Donald Trelford as a chief cicine eyekele article ayibhala, the first article expose Gukurahundi to the British people. And you need to build ama relationships lalabantu laba as part of the way forward. Identify them. Ama correspondents at British Broadcasting Corporation, who in fact investigated these things and recorded them. Knock on their doors, bring them over. Ama academics who keep coming home to investigate, to make ama research nge Gukurahundi. They are here. Evidence. Knock on their doors. Make them, get them onto your side. Uguti information abalayo will be useful at some point. But it will help you with St. Andrews. Mago guti, issue can be raised. We Edinburgh and confront the academics of Chancellor of Edinburgh University and say, Sifuni degree elai nigum kabe li keep li kolebek. You know, these what may appear small, but they are very powerful developments. So without being confrontational, but being, you know, positive in what you are doing, that you are confident that this will contribute towards the resolution of the case. In Kulumelagini, Tinekaya, I sing we have to figure out what that low Kaganga Chava Kamuli Agulanda. Zamilo Munyanti science gatesi la malogzen, stem cells are soup. So, but I'm saying, if you can be resolute, say encourage Avante Kaya, talk to people, engage them, whether they are professionals, talk to them. We had this conference, we resolved this. Please talk to the other people. These are the resolutions. Abantu bagiti kubele networks between political parties, between civic organizations, between church organizations, between youth organizations, women's organizations. Let's make it a huge, you know, a battlefront. And that way, I think we'll be able to get where we want. I'm sorry to have taken so much of your time, but somebody said the Africa tour, the sun shines for 12 hours, so it's before 12 hours.